Hello wonderful viewers, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Sara. I'm the Cedar Moon Witch, and today I'm revisiting my Exploring the Magdalene practice. I meant to get this video up before now, but life. Today I just want to like go over the things, right? So I will bring out my main study material. Before I get into that though, I want to share something, and like, I don't know, I'm just gonna share it because it's part of my experience. So what, it's been about 10 days? It hasn't been quite 2 weeks. But a few days after my initial video and my initial like dive into the practice, I had the most wonderful dream. It was very much a lucid dream. It's like all, I don't know, just an amazing dream where Mary Magdalene appeared to me with just long, bright, gorgeous red hair. And she called me the perfect woman. And this isn't the first time I've had a dream where someone has called me the perfect woman. And in both dreams, I just kind of laughed it off, you know. But it was such a profound dream, this time specifically. And her red hair, her red long hair, it was truly special. And like, I woke up from that dream just happy in a way that, I don't know, was just all-consumingly happy and joyful and loved. I don't even know. Like, yeah, I don't know. But like, that was, I don't know, that was a really profound moment. And like, it wasn't even a week into my practice. So So that aside, and I'm sharing that because like, I consider this video for me just as much as it is for anyone else who might be viewing it, you know, so that I can look back and be like, oh yeah, I remember that did happen. It was amazing. So anyway, for the past, it's been almost 2 weeks. For the past 2 weeks, I have been focusing, mainly like the Gospel of Mary, and the Nag Hammadi Codex here. See, also, the perfect human, shows up in the Gospel of Mary and throughout the Nag Hammadi. But my first dream, where this little girl called me a perfect woman, that was years ago. It's been years ago, before I even knew that this existed. Anyway, the Gospel of Mary here is like 1, 2, 3, it's like 4 pages. You know, and then you get the Greek Gospel of Mary, which is even shorter. So it's not a long read. But I decided to study because in here, Mary talks about the 7 powers that the soul has to overcome. And I decided to go one by one, right? Because it's just me studying and I can do whatever I want. So, the first power that the soul encounters is the ego, basically. The ego and the lies. The ego and the lies that our ego tells us to keep us from recognizing that we are more than just our mind and our thoughts and our beliefs. That is the first power that the soul has to overcome in its journey to actualization, I guess, to wholeness, to embodiment. I'm not even sure. I am so sorry. I try to write like a rough outline, but I am not an outline person. I am definitely not a scripted person. So anyway, oh goodness. So, into some of the things that I have learned, surrounding just, I don't know, like it's 4 pages. It was easy to read. Mary, in Mary's Gospel, she says in Mary 3:3, I think, that there is no such thing as sin. And she says that sin is adultery, but not in like the first thought when you think adultery, it's, sleeping around on your partner. No. Adultery in this sense means, and I quote, an illegitimate mixing. So Mary calls sin a mistaking the ego, the personality, the thoughts, the beliefs, mistaking that as your true self. That is sin. And I thought that was really interesting, especially just masking, right? Like everyone wears masks. Like when you go to work, you put on your work personality. If you work in a customer service job, I know people who have a customer service voice, like it's just an aspect, a mask that we put on to show whoever we're working with. That side of ourself. But that side of ourself isn't our true self. And I think this is, especially an interesting concept for me. I have a neurodivergence. So for many years, have been working on peeling back layers of myself and the masks that I put on when I deal with other people. And I've been trying to learn to be my true self, right? But then, what is my true self? So this is really tying in a lot in that aspect. I don't know, it makes me happy. It makes me really happy. So the whole point, I guess, of the Gospel of Mary is to teach us how to overcome the mind, the ego, the masks that we mistake for ourselves. So back to the first power. The first power is the power of darkness. The power of ignorance. When we are ignorant of our true selves, when we are ignorant of that true spark that gives us life, when we are ignorant of that true innate desire, that heartfelt thing that we love, right? Oh goodness, I'm not doing a good job of explaining this. Darkness, ignorance, the ego. That's basically all you have to know. Oh, let me see. How is this going? Oh. I just don't know. Okay, sorry for the interruption. For what it's worth, I'm not going to edit any of that. It's gonna stay, because that's me. I'm a hot mess. So, I guess the main thing for this week's video about my experience exploring the Magdalene is that it's overcoming your ego. It's realizing that you are not your thoughts, you are not your beliefs, you are not your opinions, you are not your mind. There is something deeper. Your true self is not your thoughts or your beliefs. And that is the soul's first trial, is overcoming that darkness that is ego. And with that in mind, I've created a tarot spread called the soul's first trial. I printed mine out tiny so I can stick it in my journal, but I will link to the image, and you can find the tarot spread on my Instagram or on my community tab if you want to follow along. Otherwise, I am going to pull some cards. I'm going to pull the tarot spread. I am using the Sistine Tarot by Rose Bay Tarot. This is sadly out of print. It is a gorgeous deck though. And it's one of several that I have been using for this practice. And I think it suits it really well. Just for me, I think. So, the first prompt in my tarot spread is the first power, the darkness that clouds my true self. Okay. The darkness that clouds my true self. What facet of my ego, my personality? The sun is the darkness that clouds my true self. Then the second is the ego's hold. What thoughts, beliefs, or fears do I have that do not serve my true self? The Knight of Wands. What earthly illusion or belief is keeping me in darkness? What aspect of materiality is keeping me in darkness? The Hermit. And how can I embody the truth and transcend the darkness? How can I anchor the light? How can I anchor the light? The Eight of Swords. Is that even on screen? Kinda. Almost. Let me move it up. Oh, goodness. Underneath it all is the star. Hope and faith. Don't give up. If you are alive, there is hope. Oh, I'm sorry. This is not... I don't know. I'm just really nervous filming this. It's a very personal thing. But I aim to be open and authentic and truthful. I want my channel to inspire and encourage growth. Like, everyone loves to look at pretty decks and do the VRs, and that's fine. I do too. But I believe in growth, in growth, personal growth. So this is why I'm doing this. So I am so sorry if I am so nervous. So this is my reading. The darkness that clouds my true self is the sun. I don't know how to take that. The sun clouds my true self. The darkness that clouds my true self is the sun. What thoughts, beliefs, fears do I have that do not serve my true self? The Knight of Wands. I fear taking action. I fear being seen for who I am. I fear having that spark, that innate me, be judged and despised for being me, I guess. Where earthly illusion or belief is keeping me in the darkness, the hermit, the belief that I am alone, that there's no one out there, that it is all on me. How can I embody the truth and transcend the darkness? The Eight of Swords. Take the blindfold off. See that I am free to walk in whatever way I want to. See that what others think of me, how others perceive me is not who I am. Maybe see that how I perceive myself is not how I am. Right? Because it's really kind of a paradox, isn't it? To transcend the darkness of the ego, to transcend the materiality when we are material beings. You know, so it's like the ego realizing that it's the ego, okay, but I'm still ego, right? To see that maybe that's just a part of being human, right? Oh goodness, I don't know. This has been a lot more vulnerable than I had expected to be. The darkness that clouds my true self, the sun. I mean, maybe my ego is just trying to outshine my true self. Maybe the ego is trying to say, oh, see, I can make you happy. We can be happy. Don't worry. You don't need to go any further in looking for your true self because I can make you happy. I can think happy thoughts, right? The trap of the ego is making you think that your thoughts are okay, but they're all thoughts. Can you touch a thought? Can you see a thought? I can see thoughts. I can visualize thoughts in my head, but not everyone can. The darkness that clouds my true self is the sun. I try to be a very positive person. I focus on positive thinking, positive mantras, positive manifestation. And maybe I do that in an attempt to halt the progress of my soul, to stop it right there. Because if I get stuck in the sun of my ego, if I stop this exploration, this journey of my soul at the first step, because I think that I've met that first challenge and overcome it, right? But if I haven't really overcome that first step, if I haven't really overcome that first darkness, I can't really progress, can I? This is interesting. This is very interesting. Everything else is very clear. Like, I know the thoughts, beliefs, and fears that don't serve my true self. I know that. I very clearly understand the earthly illusion that's keeping me trapped. But these two, the first power, the darkness that clouds my true self, and how can I embody the truth and transcend the darkness and anchor the light? These two seem very tied together, don't they? It seems like in order for me to anchor the light, to transcend the darkness, I have to take the blindfold off and see that maybe the light I perceive, the light that I think that I see, isn't really the light, but is another layer of ego trying to keep me trapped. That is very interesting. That is very interesting indeed. Interesting. Okay. Well, I am going to leave this video here, I guess. That is interesting. Very, very interesting. So to recap, it's been an interesting 10 days exploring the Magdalene. And I imagine that this is going to be a really, really interesting journey. There's a lot more going on here than I initially thought. Like, you can read 3 pages in a book and think that you understand and know those 3 pages in the book, but I guess when you really explore, when you really dig deep, there's a lot to uncover. Anyway, I guess I want to thank you so much for being here. Bless you, honestly, from the bottom of my heart. If you have made it this far, give this video a thumbs up. Help my ego feel happy. Subscribe if this is the kind of video you're into. Leave a comment. Let me know. What are your thoughts? If you have any thoughts on, like, my reading, I'd love to hear thoughts. If you do this reading for yourself, if you did the first Exploring the Magdalene reading and you decide to follow up with the second one here, the Soul's First Trial, let me know how it goes for you. Yeah. I guess that's all. Thank you so much for being here, and until next time, bye.